Okay, meanwhile waiting for your friends, can you write your name and metric number here as your proof of your attendance, okay, in the chat box, please. All right. Okay, I think meanwhile waiting for your friends. Let's see, I still got the pictures from the friends. All right. Meanwhile waiting for your friends. Okay, can we start first? Okay. So students, so for information, I'm Dr. Sharifah Muhammad. Okay. So I will be here, okay, for 14 weeks with you. Okay. So basically, as you know that, okay, this course is a sharing course with the Dr. Ko Satme. Okay, so we have two lecturers for this course, and also there is also Dr. Siti Jarani, also what will be one of the lecturer for the lab. Okay, so basically these three lectures we involve with you for the theoretical and practical course. Okay, component. Okay, so okay, so let me share with you my slide first. Okay, so before that, so everyone, is it okay? All of you, are you okay? Fine, happy?
Okay, doctor.
Yeah. Okay. So I believe everyone, all of you now is still at home, right? Okay. Where am I sharing part? Oh, yeah. All right. Okay, let me check. Is anyone here? Okay, no, not okay. Can you see my slide, students?
Yes.
All right, good. Okay, so okay, so basically for this course, okay, I emphasize for my for my part, okay, for the course content that you will learn from my side, okay, is the first part you will learn about introduction about the of the trace analysis, okay. So basically, my idea today, I would like to touch a bit about the trace analysis, okay, about what is the meaning of the trace analysis, what the limitation, and what we need to consider when we want to do the implementation of the trace analysis. And then, okay, after this topic, then we go to the sample decomposition topic, okay. We will learn how we want to prepare our samples, okay, before we want to proceed with the analysis using the certain instrumentation, okay. And then we'll be continue with the last topic, which is about the separation method, which is this is the one of the main topic we will discuss in during this more than seven weeks. Okay, so we will discuss about the gas chromatography and high performance liquid chromatography. Okay, but under separation method, we will discuss these two parts. So I believe everyone already learned some things about gas chromatography and HPLC during your analytical one. Okay. but basically that one is only like a very basic principle about the separation study. Okay, but here when you go to the third year, analytical 2, you will learn more deep about the gas chromatography from the theoretical part until the instrumentation parts. So, teaching and learning activities, I will share with you later on with the maklumat khusus. Okay, so basically, I have a live lecture like today, and also there is a pre-recorded lecture. So I try to avoid too long with the pre-recorded lectures every time I have to upload, of course, but I've tried to reduce it. Instead of you just listen to my pre-recorded lecture, I will end normally with my pre-recorded lecture with some problem-solving question. Okay. So at the end, okay, so let's say that I give you pre-recorded lecture for 10 minutes, okay? After 10 minutes, there is some question that you should answer, but you will answer together with your group, okay? So I will assign the group later on, okay? So after you do the discussion with your group, and then one of your group leader will be submit your answer to me, okay? Either I will use the Teams as a platform to submit or directly email to me. Okay, I will inform later by next week. Okay, I will have to check. Can I create more than 5 channels in these Teams? Okay, and then after you submit the answer, all this answer we will discuss during the live lecture. So normally after 3 weeks, okay, after we do the, you listen to my class and then we do the problem solving and then we have some summary, okay, to discuss about your answer. Okay, that is my idea. Okay, about the assessment from my side, okay, the continuous assessment will be as mentioned just now. There is a problem solving question. So all these things, okay, will be as your continuous assessment. So there is no exactly some one test or anything. Okay, so we continuously we will give feedback to you. So that will be also as one of your assessment. Okay, so you don't need to worry about your continuous assessment. It will be together during your in my lectures. Okay, and then final exam will be replaced to the alternative assessment 25%. Okay. I will give most probably just one assignment, but in a group work. So you will do together with your friends, and at the end we do the presentations. Okay. So basically there is a no exam or no test for from my part. Okay. So basically, it's 100% is a teamwork. Okay. So you will discuss, and then you will give to me, and then I will give it feedback, and then you try to improve it. So that is what we will try to do. Okay. Two-way interaction. Even for the final exam, okay, for the final exam, okay, so, sorry. Okay, when I replace to alternative assessment, so sometimes people, students think that, okay, this is alternative assessment, so I just pass all my assignment, that's all, okay, no. For my side, okay, I need you give me, if possible, you give me earlier, then I will give you some feedback, so you can do the improvement. Even though that is the alternative assessment is considered as your component of the final exam, I still want to give a feedback in order you want to improve, and also you will learn something from that particular alternative assessment. That is my idea. Okay. All right. So as I mentioned, so there is no exam or no test in my class. Okay, in my class. Okay, so 100% is a discussion. Okay, with your teams. Okay, that's why it's quite important our the teamwork. Okay, so there is also self evaluation as a team. You also will evaluate your group members. Okay, so that is one of the part will be under alternative assessment. Okay, so before that, okay, before I move to my this guy, okay. Let me stop sharing first. Okay. So then, okay. There are few students in the lobby. Okay, I just accept them. All right. So before I want to go more details about the trace analysis or whatever, later on I will share with you with the maklumat khusus. Okay, what we will learn in each lecture, my lectures. Okay, so let me check. Is it everyone here? How many participants? Should be around 30 something. Okay, it's very less. Okay, maybe never mind, it's a first class. Okay, so before I start share the maklumat khusus, I would like to know from your side, okay, because this is a elective courses, right? So it's not compulsory. So there is of course there is a reason why you want to choose, why you want to register this course. Okay, so can I just select anyone to give you to answer my question? Why you want to register this course? Okay, we start with Nur Shakila. Nur Shakila, are you here? Nur Shakila. Nur Shakila binti Rosli. Are you here? All right. I think Nur Shakila reply to chat box. Oh, I cannot hear you, my dear. Because you please unmute your mic. Then you can. All right. Why you register this course, Shakila? Cannot hear you. Is something wrong with your? I think with your mic. It's okay. Maybe you can answer my question through the chat. Someone raised your hand just now. So okay, never mind. You can answer through the chat. Okay. How about Tashini? Tashini, why you register this course?
Doctor, because I feel analytical skills are very important when we reach industry. That's why I wanted to learn how we acquire these lab skills and what are the knowledge we need in analytical so that we can work in future. It will be helpful to our work in future.
All right. Okay. So you think that analytical is quite important, especially for when you go further your career, right? All right. Thank you, Dashini. Okay. How about Muhammad Zulhusni?
Hello.
Yeah.
I choose this course because the same as Tashini lah. Because I think that analytical skill is very important as a chemist in the industry later.
All right. Now, as you know that, okay, everyone know that, okay, now because of everything is online, so the practical also will be online. So even so in this case, even though will be 100% will be online, okay, what do you think? Do you think that this course still important to register? Anyone can answer about this? Do you want to still register even though you know that everything is, even the lab, which is you know that the practical skills is important, but somehow you cannot do face to face? So do you think that the theoretical part is still important or not? Anyone want to? Yes, Tashini?
Yes, Doctor. I personally feel yes, theoretical is important. We only could apply to practical if we know the theory. It's from my personal thought.
Okay, thank you, Tashini. All right. Anyone want to add something? Okay, let me see the name of the participant fully. Okay, this is Izian Amani. Are you here? Tanziting. Tanziting. Are you here? Why you registered this course?
I think this course is very important, especially for industry. And with the knowledge we've learned in the lecture, I think we can apply it, especially in a practical lab.
All right. Okay. So, wait, some of your friends is request to, I have to accept them. Give me 1 minute. There. Hello. Okay. All right. Okay. So, yes, the analytical chemistry is one, even though it's under elective courses. Okay. So, for information, this is one of the courses that we can say that is applied to all the other courses that, especially for, let's say that you want to do the organic. Okay. As a one day you want to be as an organic chemist. Okay. Even though you want to be as an organic chemist, okay, you want to synthesize something. At the end, when you come out with the characterization, you will deal with the instrumentation. Okay, so you will deal with the instrumentation. For example, you will deal with the chromatography, as I mentioned just now, separation using gas chromatography or high performance liquid chromatography. Let's say that you say that, oh, I want to be an inorganic chemist. I'm still can be run away from the analytical chemist. No, even though you go to analytical inorganic, okay, if let's say that you want to do any metal complexes, whatever, you still deal with the our instrumentation like spectroscopy techniques and so on. Okay, mainly spectroscopy and separation is an electroanalytical technique. Okay, these three things, okay, plus with the other techniques like thermal analysis and so on, all is we play around with the instrumentation. So when we play around with the instrumentation, okay, we quantify, okay, we want to know what is the present and so on. All this thing is under analytical. Okay, so that is analytical. So how important the analytical. So in future, maybe you can emphasize to, if let's say that your junior asks you, is it so important the analytical chemistry too? Please say yes. Okay, it's very important because it's not only you just learn about the instrumentation. So sometimes we will emphasize also with you that how you want to, if let's say that you have a troubleshoot, how you want to handle it, whatever. Okay, so something we will share that the concept of the maintenance of the instrumentation. But normally we will share all this information about the how to do the troubleshooting and so on during the practical class. Okay, so I'm not the lectures that involve on the practical class, but I really hope that during the practical class they will share all these informations. Okay, and in the same time, I'm trying my best during my I give the alternative assessment, and also when I give you the group discussion, everything you try to apply, then the knowledge that you learn during my lecture, you will apply. Okay, that is the idea. Okay, so you will know that when people give you real samples, you know how to deal with the real samples. Okay, even though with the theoretical, I believe that you still have some information. Okay. So student, maybe some of you feel that, okay, there is something lacking with our students now, which is about the practical skill. So for information, currently all the departments, especially chemistry department, biological department, physics department, and geology, now currently working on the preparation of the special module practical skills. This is not compulsory, but for those that would like to learn something 100% about the skill that should be have. Let's say that as a student, chemistry student, what you should have, what the skill that you should have in the practical skill, we emphasize in this special module. So we are now currently developing the special module. We'll plan everything in terms of duration, everything. Once it's ready, we will give a briefing to our program coordinator. We give the briefing to all the students. So the first student that we will call for the meeting is a 2018 student because they are most affected student. So there is a briefing. So please join the briefing to understand how about the special module skills. Okay. So most probably before by May, you will get some news about that particular special modules. Okay, so the idea is we don't want to give any compulsory. Okay, because if let's say that compulsory, certain students still not feel safe to come back. So that's why we say that it's not compulsory, but you can, we will arrange everything for you. Okay, in terms of the duration, what time and everything, we will inform to you later on. Okay, so that is our idea. Leon, you want to say something, is it?
I just wonder, is it a general modules? Or...
No, it's not general module, Leon. Okay, so for information, just give a briefing about this module. Okay, later on you will get more idea from your program coordinator. This module will identify all the skill. As you know that our chemistry program, even applied and chemistry pure program, both is accredited by Royal Society Chemistry, RSC. Are you aware about this, that your program is accredited by RSC?
Yes, yes.
All right. So this, since we are under accredited by RSC, there is a certain requirement as a under RSC accreditation program, what the suppose the skill that we have it. Okay, they have really listed down everything. So all this skill, okay, we will try to link with a certain experiment. Okay, so let's say that our students should know how to handle with the volumetric apparatus. Okay, there is a few volumetric apparatus like burette, pipette, and so on. Okay, how you want to handle it. Okay, how you want to read the measurement and so on. So all these skills that we will emphasize during the class. Okay, so how you want to calibrate the UV spectrophotometry, for example, how you want to deal with the instrument. So we will divide by four main things: physical lab, inorganic, organic, and also analytical. Okay, so these four groups already, I know that the department already assigned, okay, who will do the module. So once it's ready, then we will call the students. Okay, really hope, I know that Leon, you are so you are worried about this issue, but hopefully you can trust on us. Okay, so for the students, especially for applied student, that next year you will go, next semester you are not sure because you go to the industrial training. We are really hope we can handle all these things, especially for the applied student before that. Okay, so the idea is during special semester. Okay, so again, this is not compulsory, so you can if you're willing to come and you want to learn, then we are always welcome you. Okay, and then at the end we will provide you with the certificate to show that there is a practical skills embedded during COVID-19. Yes, someone raise your hand. Nurul Farah, you want to ask me something?
Doctor, sorry.
Yes.
My friend would like to enter this video.
Oh. All right. Wait. Oh, but there is no any request from Farah.
She said she has requested you, but I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, but can you ask the student to request again, because so far there is no pending request from my side.
All right, I will ask
you
to do so.
All right, thank you. Okay, so that's all about the special module. That is the idea we want to give you. At least you know that what's happening in our department. Okay, Leon? Yes, Leon.
Will it last for a whole special semester or only last for a week?
Yes. Whole semester.
Oh, that's great.
And ready, we know that the durations, okay, let's say that maybe we just need a 10 days or whatever, and then we will call we will give the briefing for the student, and then we get the idea, we will identify which student will want to come first. Yes, Farah. Wait, Farah, I have to check.
She have requested you again, doctor.
Seriously?
Yeah. I think she's using her phone. I think I would suggest her to use the laptop now.
Maybe Can you ask the student use the Swiswa mail?
All right, I will ask her to do so. Thank you, doctor.
All right. Okay. All right. Now, okay. Now after we discuss about how important the yeah. Okay, can you see my slide? My maklumat khusus? Can you see, yeah? Student?
Yes, doctor.
Can,
Yeah.
All right. Okay, here I would like to emphasize again about, as I mentioned just now, the details of the assessment weightage. Okay, so from my side, it's 10% group discussion, 10% Dr. Koksokme will be 2 tutorials, and 30% is a practical skills, practicals, reports, and so on. Okay, and then 25% from my side is the alternative assessment, and 25% from Dr. Koksokme will be final exam. Final exam will be during exam week. All the final exam for this semester will be go to the during exam week. For your information, there is no more final exam during the lecture weeks. Okay. All right. And then for the introduction part today, okay, I'm not sure that I can give the introduction for trace analysis. If I have time, I will share today. All right. And then we will, the next day, the second week will also steam trace analysis by pre-recorded lectures for 2 weeks, and then we have a summary of group discussion for week 4. Then we will continue with the theory of chromatography for 2 weeks, okay, and then will be summary of group discussion with the Microsoft Teams, and then we continue with the liquid chromatography for 2 weeks and gas chromatography for 2 weeks, and then we have a summary of group discussion with the for HPLC and gas chromatography on week 12. Week 13, Dr. Koksokme will take both slots, and then I will take for both slots on Tuesday for the presentation. Okay. Okay, so that's all for the maklumat khusus. All right. Now I share my slide. Okay, trace analysis. So when you see the terms of trace, of course, I believe that everyone know is about the how low the concentration of the trace analysis. Okay, so later on I will share with okay, now the definition of the trace analysis. Trace is a analysis is when we talk about the concentration of below than 100 ppm. I hope you are still remember what is a ppm. Normally, okay, when you go to organic class or inorganic class, you will play around with the molarity, okay, molarity or normality. Okay, that is the way you present the concentration of your sample, standard solution, and so on. But when you go to the analytical groups, okay, you will play around normally. When you present your concentration, you will present at the ppm or ppb or ppt level, okay, either part per million or part per trillion or part per billion. So why when you go to analytical groups, okay, research group, you will deal with these terms, ppb or ppm or ppb, because the concentration that we play around in our research group normally at the very low, which is we call at the trace level. So therefore, normally we present at the concentration at the ppm or ppb or below than that. Okay, so when we talk about trace analysis, anything in the concentration less than 100 ppm we consider as a trace analysis. Okay, for the examples of the trace analysis, 1 ppb is like a pinch of salt to a 10-ton bag of potato chips. Okay, that is a very simple way how we want to describe how low the concentration of the the salt. Okay, 1 ppb of the salt is like a pinch of salt in the 10-ton bag of the potato chips. Okay. So before that, okay, before I would like to share about the limitation of the trace analysis. Okay, I would like to share 3 main terms that I always use in my class. This is the basic terms. So the first terms is about the substance, an analyte. So what is an analyte? Analyte is a substance to measure in a given samples. Okay. So for example, you say that I would like to determine the concentration of the copper in seawater. In this case, your copper is your targeted analyte. Okay, the substance you want to measure. Okay, matrix. What is a matrix? Everything else in your samples is a matrix. As I mentioned just now, I want to detect copper in a seawater. So anyone can give me the answer. What is a matrix that I referring for the copper in seawater? What is a possible matrix that present in the seawater? Anyone can answer? Hello? Wait, students. I think some of you try to. Wait, I check first. Is this? All right. All right. All right. Okay, I should. Okay, anyone can answer? What is a matrix in the seawater? All right. Okay, because of running of time, I cannot choose your name now. Okay. The matrix in the seawater. Okay, the example is a sodium, chloride, magnesium. So anything, the ions that present in your samples, okay, in your seawater, we consider is a matrix. Okay, only copper your analyte. The rest will be your matrix. Interference. So what is the interference? Other compound in your sample matrix that will be interfere during your measurement. For example, you would like to detect a copper, and your copper signal is like this. But with the presence of this interference, which is this, they give in the same, in the same signals, okay, in the same place, the copper now, the concentration will be increased because of the presence of the copper and interference, okay? Or sometimes, let's say that your copper concentration like this, but because of the interference, the concentration will be reduced. Okay, maybe the interference interact with your copper and decrease the signals, or they increase the signals because they're overlapping with your signals of your analyte. Okay, so there is a two possible. Either your interference we call as a positive interference. This is positive interference. The concentration of your analyte will be increased because of the interference give the same signals, or we call it as a negative interference. Your concentration will be reduced, okay, because of the interference interact with your targeted analyte. Okay, so that is about the analyte, matrix, and interference. Okay, now from this 1 ppb, okay, which is, as I mentioned just now, a pinch of salt to a 10-ton bag of the potato chips. Okay, can you identify what is the two problem during you do the analysis of the salt in these potato chips? Anyone can answer this? What do you think? the main problem that will be encountered when you do the analysis of the salt in these potato chips? What is the main issue? So far. Okay. Kirtana, are you here, Kirtana?
I'm here, doctor.
Okay, Kirtana, what do you think, Kirtana? Yeah, one
maybe
problem is enough.
Maybe the salt is not enough to do the analysis.
Okay, the salt is not enough. Okay. Okay, that is a question from Kirtana. All right, now, Muhammad Sabri, are you here? Thank you, Kirtana. Muhammad Sabri, are you here?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, what do you think? What is the main problem when you do this analysis? Salt in this 10-ton bag of the potato chips.
The instrument problem maybe.
Instrument, eh? Suka cakap instrument problem, eh? Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, it's not we say that instrument problem, okay? The limitation of the instrument to detect these salts. Maybe that will be happen. Okay, why? Because the concentration of the salt is too low. Okay, the concentration of the salt is too low. Okay, so it's not easy for the instrument to detect. Okay, so there is some limitation. Okay, certain limitation for the instrument to detect. Okay, so we call is a LOD, limit of detection. Okay, so each instrument, they have a limit of detection. So let's say that as just now what Sabri said just now, so the instrument cannot have a problem. In this case, we say that this instrument don't have the ability to detect the salt at the 1 ppb. Let's say that the limit of detection of this instrument only 1 ppm. Okay, let's say that already stated in that instrument, the limit of detection to detect this salt is a 1 ppm. So that means any concentration below than 1 ppm. Okay, of course 1 ppb is below than 1 ppm. So any concentration below than 1 ppm, the instrument cannot detect this analyte. Okay, so that is the first problem because of the low concentration. Okay, and sometimes there is a limitation of the instrument, so we cannot detect. Another problem, anyone can answer? There is two problems. One because of the salts. Two is because of what? Leon, you want to answer?
I think it's choice of analyte.
Choice of analyte.
Yeah, because potato chip might contain certain amount of sodium or chloride.
All right. So here, this is our analyte actually. So as I mentioned just now, the problem as we already addressed one because of the low concentration. So what is the clue that I give you here? Anyone can see other than the salts? Another clue? Students? Okay, who's that inside my group? Huh? Shakila, are you here?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Can.
Is it about the potato chips? Like
Yes,
the amount of potato
chips?
chips?
Yes, correct. Okay, the answer is because of potato chips. So now, if the salt is an analyte, the potato chip is what? Shakila.
What, doctor?
If let's say that, as we know that you want to detect the salt, right? So the salt is an analyte, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what we call for this potato chip? Is it matrix or analyte?
Matrix.
Matrix, okay? So that is the second problem, okay? The second problem is about your matrices, okay? So these potato chips will be too much until it's not easy to detect the low concentration of your salt, okay? You want to detect a pinch of salt, but the issue here, the matrix, there is a 10 bag of the potato chips. How you want to detect the small amount of the like this, but you have a big amount of potato chips in your bag, in your sample bag, okay? So the first thing, you should remove these potato chips. When you remove all these things, then you can see very clear your salt, okay? So that is a problem in trace analysis. One, your concentration is too low. Second is because of the matrix. So when you people give you, let's say that people give you the drink sample water or whatever, the main thing, you should encounter these two problems, okay? How you want to make sure the analyte can be detected by your instrument, and the second one, how I want to remove the matrix from this drinking water, okay? Then only you can move for the second stage, okay, which is you want to analyze it, okay? So here there is some classification about the trace analysis, semi-macro analysis, and macro analysis. Okay, so you can have a look in my lecture notes. Okay, the examples to categorize as a trace, semi, and macro. All right, so I will end this class with this discussion. Okay, you are analytical chemist. Is one of the company that provided laboratory testing services. You have received 5 solid samples in plastic bag. Okay, 5 solid samples in plastic bag. Okay, with a note from your new client saying that here are the sample for analysis purpose. I hope the result will be ready when I return in 2 weeks. The samples were labeled P0, P0, P1, P2, P3, and P4. Explain the step of chemical analysis in this study. Okay, so let's say the person, one client give you 5 solid bags. Okay, there is a solid sample inside. Okay, in your plastic bag. So what is the first step? Okay, we're talking not talking the 5 steps we have in the analysis. The main thing, what the first step you should do before you proceed analysis. Okay, so I will stop my presentation now. All right. So students, this is the last question. Okay. In my class, there is a lot of question. Okay. So because I love to do the two-way interaction. If not, life is too hot. All right. So can I ask someone here? Okay. I give you maybe 2 minutes. Try to think. People give you 5 bags of solid samples. And then what you should, the first step you will do. Okay. Before you proceed. Okay. If anyone want to answer, you can answer, but I give you 2 minutes.
No, I don't understand the questions. The solid sample is prepared for analysis?
Yes.
Or so it's just a preparation for analysis?
Okay, let's say that I give you, Leon, I give you 5 bags of solid. Inside this bag, there is a samples. But I just now I mentioned it's a solid samples. Okay. So the client said, okay, please analyze this sample. So as a chemist, as an analytical chemist, what the first step you will do?
Prepare the sample, like.
Prepare the samples. Okay, Shakila said prepare the samples. Okay, anyone to give the other answer?
Reduce the size.
Reduce the size. Okay. All right. Reduce the size. Okay. The rest. Farah? Yes, Farah.
Then a accurate weight of the samples?
Yeah,
Getting the accurate weight of the samples?
the weight of the samples.
Mm-mm.
All right, Farah said Farah want to measure the weight. Shakira want to prepare the sample. Leon want to reduce the size of the samples. Okay, who else here? All right.
Or maybe analyze the problem first.
Analyze the problem first. Okay. What is the meaning of analyze the problem first, Shakila? You're referring to what? How you want to analyze the problem?
Maybe refer to what the client wants.
Okay. That is a clue from Shakila. What is a client want? Okay. Anyone want to proceed to answer this part? Okay. Respond to what's your client want. Rishma, what is your idea? If I give you samples, I'm your client. Rishma, are you here? Rishma is not here. All right, never mind. Yes, Navi. Yes, Navi. Okay, some of you dah hilang. All right. Ko Laimun.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah. So what's your plan? If let's say that I give you this sample, what the first step you will do?
Sample preparation.
Sample preparation. Okay. So most of you, when you take the samples, I can say that you just take and then you start to go to the second step actually, which is sample preparation. You are Kolaimun said that you want to prepare the sample. Just now Farah said you want to wait. It also is a category of the sample preparation. Yuan said want to reduce the sample. All this is a second step. The first step is actually gathering the information. How you want to gather the information? The first thing, as I mentioned just now, I just give you samples. First thing you should ask your client, what is your targeted analyte? Because without you know what is your targeted analyte, you cannot proceed for the second step. So as a chemist, you should know the first question is gather the information. So you should know what is your targeted analyte. Let's say that I give you drinking water. Then I say that, Leon, please analyze this drinking water. You cannot just take and go simply just do any analysis. Cannot. The first thing you should ask your client, what's your targeted analyte? Let's say that is a solid sample. You don't know what is the samples. You should ask them what is the samples. Why? Let's say that I give this water also, you should ask me what type of the water. Maybe it's not drinking water. You should know that what type of water, because each real samples have a different matrices. As I mentioned just now, the potato chips is your matrix. So here, all the samples have their own matrices. So this matrix you have to remove first. Okay, so before you want to remove, as Shakira mentioned, identify the problem. You should know that what is your matrices and then remove. So that is how you want to remove. You choose the right method to remove it. Okay, maybe you want to remove the protein, the method is really different. You want to remove a silica, the method will be different. So that's why, as Shakira mentioned just now, you should identify the problem first. Gather everything and then go to the second step. As like Kolaimun said, go do the sample preparation. But if let's say that your sample is not with you, before the sample preparation, you should go to the sampling procedure. After sampling, you go to the sample preparation. After sample preparation, then we go analyze our samples. Okay. So for the sample preparation, I will explain later on in my class in the few lectures, okay, after we talk about trace analysis. But for now, I just want to highlight you what is a trace analysis, what is a problem that will deal with the trace analysis, and that how we want to deal with if your client give you a sample, how you want to deal it. Okay, so the first step, gather the information, then will be process the same other process, sampling, sample preparation, and so on. Okay, so that's all from my side. Okay, so class, for your group, Are you prefer, you would like to choose your own group, or is it okay I choose for you on behalf of you? Which one you prefer?
I prefer you choose.
All right.
Our group.
Huh?
We choose
Choose our own group.
Choose our own doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, choose our own doctor.
Okay. Who want to choose your own group? Raise your hand first, because I want to see your majority. No one raise your hand? All right. Okay. So who want to, all right. So who want, I choose for on behalf of you. Raise your hand. All right. Okay, only few students. So in this case, I will leave it to you, but maybe I will I will paste in these teams to you identify which group, or maybe in the WhatsApp group later on. Okay, so I will put maybe 5 or 6 group. For each group should be I will let you know that each group should be maybe 5 or 6 students, and then you can add your name there in the either in the Teams or in the WhatsApp group later on. Okay, so that's all from my side. Yes,
Doctor, can we mix SIC and SID students in the
can
group?
mix. Yeah, you can mix. Should be okay. As long you enjoy with your teams, I'm happy. Okay, because this group is very important. That's why I asked you want to me choose or you. Okay, because this group from the starting from next week until the end of the week 14, you will together with them. Okay, all the activities from my side will be group in the group work. Okay, so that's why the group is very important. Okay, because one day when you go for the after you be a one as a chemist whatever, okay, you you go to the job, okay, as I'm sure that you will work with the team. Okay, you cannot work in silo, right? So that's why teamwork is very important. Okay, so that's all. Is any why someone raise your hand? Support, I cannot see anything before we end our lectures today. Anything from your side?
Doctor, I have questions.
Yes.
You mentioned about removing the matrix. Like, is it compulsory to remove the matrix?
Some of the cases is compulsory to remove. If not, you cannot detect your targeted analytes. Okay, so I will explain in another lectures what the step that the removing step, what we call it. Okay, so in the trace analysis, normally the first thing you remove first, then only you go to the last step, which is analyze your instrument. Okay.
So, for example, I want to analyze lake water sample. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it means that I have to remove all the water prior to analyze?
No, you are not removing water. Okay, you remove the matrices in the water.
Water is not matrix.
Yeah, you remove, let's say that in your lake water there is a lot of calcium or whatever, so you remove all these things and then you measure your targeted analyte.
Oh, okay, I get it.
It's not remove the water, it's remove the matrix. It's a different matrix. Means all the chemical composition inside there, you will remove it, right? So when I go to the third lecture, I will emphasize about this part. Okay.
Okay, clear.
Okay, anything else, my dear students?
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes.
Excuse me, doctor. May I ask what is the difference between the sample pre-treatment and the sample preparation?
Okay, sample pre-treatment is actually is under sample preparation. But before you want to start do the sample preparation, okay, let's say that, okay, let's say Boon, you take you go to the river water, you take this water, okay. You cannot just take this water and put in the bench like this, okay, and then the next day you come and just take and do the sample preparation. You must treat first this sample. Okay, what's the meaning of the treat? Means Okay, let's say that, okay, you want to preserve this sample, so you add some acid and you put in the fridge. So the process of the preservation we call is a sample pre-treatment. Okay, so you treat your samples to make sure it's a preserve, and then you can proceed with the following step. So this is one of the steps that you should do before you want to proceed, because normally when you go to the field work, you just not go and then come and proceed with the analysis. Of course, you will keep your samples. So in order you want to keep your sample, you should treat your sample first, preserve it, and then you proceed with another procedure, the next thing. Is it
Okay, clear?
All right.
Understand. Thank you, doctor.
All right, thank you. So how about the rest? Anything else? You can ask anything because it's a very important for about the sample analysis, about real sample, but it's okay, we will discuss later on. Okay, so I don't want to take your time. Okay, so I think we can end our meeting, our discussion today, and then we continue with the next week, followed by the pre-recorded plus with the group discussion. Okay, but you can utilize as Teams as a platform to chat with me also. Okay, so I will always can give response. Okay, I will create each group have one channel, so you can discuss through among your group with me through the channels. Okay, so that is my idea. Okay, so that's all from my side. We will see you 2 more weeks for the live lectures. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you,
See you.
doctor. Thank you, doctor.
Welcome, my dear.
Doctor,
Yes.
about the group, how many person
Yeah.
in a group, doctor, is allowed?
Okay, actually, I want to see how many of you actually. I'm still, because some of you still not in the WhatsApp group. So most probably 5 or 6, because I don't want too many groups actually, because it's not easy for me to handle it later on.
Okay.
Most probably 5 or maybe 6.
Okay, doctor. Thank you.
All right.
Doctor.
Yes. Yes, Abhi.
Actually, right, I and one of my friend cannot join your Microsoft team. This one we join through our friend give the link.
Oh, why?
Not sure. We have pressed the link that you give on WhatsApp, but it shows that you need permission, and yeah, we are not joining the Teams group.
Okay, so how you will hear now?
Now because one of Shakila is our friend, and she joining the Teams group already, so he give the joining info, and we press that we can join the now live meeting. We can join, but we cannot chat inside here, and we are not in our own Teams account. The class this course Teams is not in our account.
Oh, are you using the Siswa mail or what?
Yeah. I'm using the system to log into my Microsoft Team account, but still cannot. So I don't know why.
When you log in, did you use let's say Sabri at 3Siswa 365?
I use the 365.
You should add 365 after Siswa. Do you know that?
Oh, okay. Then I'll try again. If cannot, I will WhatsApp you.
You try again, because I need to accept all the requests for so easy for next time. Can
Okay, sure. Anything I will WhatsApp you. Okay, thank you.